Hey, my name is Raymond. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make beef bone broth. So let's get started. The ingredients you need is white distilled vinegar, tomato paste, beef marrow bones, apple cider vinegar, carrots, celery, yellow onions, garlic, ginger, rosemary, thyme, bay leaves, parsley, salt, and pepper. For the equipment, you need 2 bowls, a spoon, a fine mesh strainer, a knife, tongs, a big spoon, 2 9x13 sheet pans, a cutting board, and a large 8-quart pot with a lid. Optional 1-gallon jar with 4 16th-ounce jars. For step 1, preheat oven to 425 degrees. For step 2, I'm preparing the beef marrow bones to be washed. This recipe requires 2 large beef marrow bones, and I purchased extra for a future recipe. Beef marrow bones are highly nutritious. You can use the fat from the bones to create rendered down beef tallow. Next, I'm washing the beef marrow bones in hot water to remove impurities from the surface. I'm adding white distilled vinegar to help with the cleaning process. Using white distilled vinegar in this process can also help soften the bones slightly, making it easier to extract every bit of flavor and nutrients during cooking. Now for step 3, I'm preparing the beef marrow bones to be dressed with tomato paste. The tomato paste aids in browning the bones while also enhancing the flavor and boosting the mineral content of the broth. Tomato paste is high in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that boosts nutritional value of the bone broth. Now for step 4, I'm placing the beef marrow bones into the oven to roast for 45 minutes to an hour. For step 5, I'm preparing the herbs for the bone broth. To start off, I'm adding 8 parsley stems to a small bowl. Parsley stems add a fresh and slightly bitter flavor. Next, I'm adding in 2 bay leaves. Bay leaves add a subtle earthly and herbal flavor. Next, I'm adding in 2 sprigs of rosemary. Rosemary adds a piney, woody flavor with a hint of lemony brightness. Lastly, I'm adding in 2 sprigs of thyme. Thyme adds a herbal, earthly, and subtle minty undertone. After adding the herbs into the bowl, now it's time to rinse off the herbs. You want to rinse off the herbs in warm water. Next, after rinsing off the herbs, I'm drying it off real quick. Now it's time for step 6. I'm adding in 1 to 2 tablespoons of salt. After adding in 2 tablespoons of salt, I'm adding in 10 to 12 whole peppercorns. Once completed, now it's time to check up on the bones. After 25 to 30 minutes, make sure to flip the bones over to ensure even roasting and browning. For step 7, I'm chopping up the vegetables. I'm starting off by cutting up 3 medium-sized carrots. You want to cut up the vegetables to fit into the pressure cooker. Carrots add sweetness to the broth. Next, I'm chopping up 4 celery stalks. Celery provides a fresh, crisp, and subtle herbal flavor to the beef bone broth. Next, I'm using 3 garlic cloves. Garlic cloves add a savory depth, warmth, and a hint of sweetness. Next, I'm using 2 yellow onions. Yellow onions add a sweet, savory, and slightly tangy flavor. Lastly, I'm using 1 to 2 inch ginger root. Ginger provides a warmth and a spicy kick. Next, I'm washing off the vegetables in white distilled vinegar to remove any dirt or impurities. Now for step 8, I'm preparing the vegetables to be roasted. Roasting the vegetables releases more flavors into the broth along with deepening its color. And I'm adding a little bit of olive oil to enhance the caramelization process. Now for step 9, I'm removing the bones from the oven and grabbing the vegetables to be roasted for 20 minutes on 400 degrees. Now for step 10, I'm preparing the bones to be pressure cooked. Ensure to scrape the bottom of the pan to collect the flavorful bits and juices from the bones. Fill the 8-quart pot up with water to the pressure cook max. All you need is 2 large beef marrow bones for this recipe, or you can use all 4 bones without the vegetables. Once the vegetables are done roasting, now it's time for step 11. For step 11, carefully add in your roasted vegetables into the 8-quart pot. Next, include your herbs and seasonings. Make sure to evenly distribute all the roasted vegetables, herbs, and seasonings throughout the bone broth. This is optional. You can add in 1 or 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar to the bones to release more nutrients. Now for step 12, begin pressure cooking the bone broth by setting it to high pressure for 1 hour, followed by an additional hour on low pressure to fully extract the flavors and nutrients. The longer the better. Once the pressure cooking process is completed, now it's time for step 13. For step 13, remove the beef marrow bones from the pressure cooker along with the vegetables and herbs. Next, you need a large bowl and a fine mesh strainer to carefully remove any remaining herbs and solids from the broth. I made sure to strain the beef bone broth a couple of times to achieve a clear and smooth finish. After completing the 13 steps, allow the bone broth to cool slightly before transferring. If you're using an 8-quart pot, you can simply cover it with a lid and store it in the refrigerator once it's sufficiently cooled. Beef bone broth is versatile, making it perfect for use in various dishes or as a healthy drink. The reason I created this recipe today is for a key nutrient called glycine, which helps promote relaxation and restful sleep. As the bone broth cools, the fats separate and rises to the top. Once refrigerated or frozen, you can skim off the fat and use it to make your own beef tallow. If you'd like me to create a video on how to make beef tallow, let me know. Comment down below. I hope I taught you how to make something new today. If you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to comment down below. But in the meantime, peace.